Hi guys, welcome to today's yoga flow. It is prepping you to get into your middle splits. So we're going to do a lot of lower body flexibility, opening the hips, all that good stuff. So let's get started with some forward folds. Reach down, touch your toes. Remember to keep your back straight when you're going forward. Hands up, deep breath in, and then deep breath out. Let's go ahead and take a seat so we can start on our warm-up poses. Get comfortable, get seated on your mat. First, we are going to do crescent moon lunges. So remember when you are doing your side lunge to keep your butt bones on your mat. Other side. Okay, now for some seated twists. Twist your back, look over your shoulder. Remember to take a deep breath before you twist so you can get really deep into your back. And now the other side. Alright, now let's get into our cat-cow. So inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale one more time. And exhale. Now we are going to do seated forward folds. So this is you attempting to touch your toes, to reach your toes, bending from your hips with a straight back as much as possible, and leaning forward, touching your toes, your ankles, or even your knees. Hands in the air, deep breath. Exhale, release. Now let's go into our downward dog. You can walk it out one by one, or you can stay in a still position. Okay, let's go into three-legged dog. And into our pigeon pose to really get those quads stretched out. Get some hip opening started. Okay, let's go back into our downward dog. So we could do our three-legged dog on the other side. And let's go back into our pigeon pose on the other side. child's pose for a quick little reset. Take a deep breath and let your body relax. Alright guys, now let's get seated and do a seated half camel pose. So just arch your back, let it open your chest, a quick rounding of the back, and exhale. Now let's get into our lunges, which is of course one of the most effective splits pose you could get yourself into. So an important part is making sure your knee and your ankle are aligned. You want them straight, like a straight line on top of each other, and really let yourself fall deep so your hips could open. Do a back arch if you want to. I just love doing this pose because it feels so good. So if you would like to, go ahead. And now we are going to lift our back foot off of the mat so we could go into an even deeper lunge. You could take a deep breath, put your hands in the air, and release back down onto your mat. Get into your half knee split. And now we are going to do the other side, starting with the lunge. Make sure your knee and your ankle are aligned and let yourself fall deep into this pose. Back arch if you feel like doing it. I almost lost my balance. LOL. Back knee off the mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms back down. Back foot on your mat again. And let's do a half split. Half camel pose again, chest open. Round your spine, exhale. Inhale, arch. Alright guys, now let's get into our wide-legged forward fold. We're going to do each leg individually first. So go to the direction of your left foot first, reach your toes. Make sure you're feeling that stretch on your quads and also your inner thigh, even in your hamstring. Make sure you're getting deep enough to where you feel that stretch and that pull. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. Okay, bring it in a little bit. Now we are going to go into our frog pose. With this pose, it is important that your knees are at a 90-degree angle, that they're lined up. Your knee and your ankle are lined up as much as possible, and you're centered. So you're not too forward and not too back. In this pose, it is very, very, very opening. So it is very important to allow yourself to release as much as possible of the tension and just fall into it. Even though it hurts, try to just go in it deeper and deeper and deeper so your hips can get opened. Okay, so for our next exercise, we are going to use a yoga belt. You can use whatever string you have at hand, or you can use no string at all, that's fine too. So I'm tying this around my ankle. I did have my foot at first, but I switched to my ankle because it's more reachable and more comfortable. So what we are going to do is lay one leg on your mat, and with keeping your other leg straight, we are going to be having it in the air and pull it towards you. Keep your leg straight and just pull it towards you. So we're going to keep tension on it for a few seconds and then release for 1 second and then start pulling it again towards us for a few seconds. Release and then pull again. Release, pull again. Release, pull again. Release, pull again. other side. Okay, we're pulling, release, pull, release, pull as much as you can, release, pull again, release, pull, release, pull again, release, pull again. Alright, we're all done with this. You can take off your belt, release. Now we are going to go into our one-legged forward fold. So this is the same one we did as earlier, but this time we're going to have one of our legs tucked in while we stretch the other side. Okay, let's switch sides now. Okay, now let's get ready for our wide-legged forward fold. With this pose, your legs as open as possible but not yet in the splits position, and also keep your toes pointed towards the sky the whole time while you lean forward. So bend from your hips, keep a straight back, and lean as forward as you can. It doesn't matter where that is, as long as you feel that stretch. There's going to be a huge stretch in your quads, in your inner thigh, in your hamstrings, and this is going to really prep you for those middle splits. Alright guys, we could sit up now because we're going into our middle splits now. So for the middle splits, you could point your toes outward. They don't have to be pointing up. Pull yourself up, forward into the middle splits, and see how deep you could go. I am almost there, but not quite yet. So stay in that position for as long as you possibly can. So when you finish that, we are going to really quickly stretch each individual leg. Okay, we are going to start getting ready for our counter pose. So bring your legs a little more in, and we're going to do a forward fold. Okay, we're going to bring them a little more in again and do a forward fold again. And completely closed, forward fold. Okay, now for a counter pose, let's go into our downward dog to reset. You can walk it out or stay still if you'd like. Chaturanga Dandasana, into Cobra pose, back into downward dog, and into Child's pose for releasing all the tension, relaxation, surrender. I hope you guys guys enjoyed this YouTube video and it helped you a lot. Come back and watch this on the daily to really get those middle splits, and I'll see you guys soon.